All right, first thing, um, I gave you all a handout. There's a mistake on it because on yours, on the very bottom, bless you, on the due date, no, it's not due 2 days after Christmas. It's 11/27/2014. So please change that. Everybody, please change that. God bless you. Please, please change that. And don't tell me I got it in on time. No, no. And I realize also, if you look, that's Thanksgiving. No, I don't expect you to be working on that on Thanksgiving. It's due by then. That's what I'm saying. All right. I gave you this. If you haven't seen this before, this is thing. Bless you both. From July 2012, 10 of the more popular websites using Joomla. That might have even been referenced in our book. I don't remember. What I did last night was I went through the book and tried to pick out some stuff I thought that you might be able to include in a site. Again, the number of things that you include, the number of the things that are in here will be somewhat predicated on what your site's about. You're going to have a lot of time. You have half the semester to sit and work on this project. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I expect this project to be pretty good. All right? There really was nothing in the first three chapters. Chapter 1 was, this is an intro to Joomla. Chapter 2 and 3 were basically setting it up and then starting to go look through the interface. All right? And a lot of the stuff that's in here, it's like there were things in here, changing the title of a menu link. Well, you're going to do that if you think that you put in a menu link and what you put in wasn't good. But for me to tell you to do something like that, I thought would be kind of idiotic. So what I did was I went through all of the chapters here. I'm not going to read these to you. But again, some of this stuff, things like creating articles and creating menu links. Well, yeah, you're going to do that. Some of the other stuff, contact form, it would be nice to have something like that. Tweaking the site configurations, are you going to do that? You might do one of those configurations. You might do several. You might not, might have very few that you want to do. All right. The site that you create, I'm not even going to put a minimum or a maximum number of pages on it. But again, this is not a warning. I'm telling you all this. I'm going to grade everyone's based on how everyone else did. Does that make sense? So in other words, and I'm not going to pick on anybody. Let's say person X creates a site, and it's okay, but it's 2 pages long. Then person Y comes in and has a similar site, but it's got 6 or 7 pages in it. Well, who would you think deserves the better grade? It's not just a quantity thing. I want you to realize that. It's also a quality thing. All right? But, again, things like sitemaps. Styling, you're going to add that. All right? How many images are you going to put in? It depends on what it is you're trying to do. Remember, if you create a site, and a couple of you have already talked to me about this, Mark isn't here right now, but he has mentioned that he's got a friend of his who owns a company that actually does computer work, and Mark cut a deal with him. Hopefully he doesn't mind me saying this. It's real easy to say it with him not here, right? He's going to do some drywall work for the guy, and in return, the guy's letting him redo his website. And Mark talked to him about Joomla, and the guy said, yeah, if it's easy enough to use, do it in Joomla. We've talked about this a little bit, and I don't know, Zane, if you've talked to Stephanie at all, or if you have an interest in doing yours. And like, for example, with Mike, Mike's working on the E-Strength and Fitness. If he decides he's going to do his project, I want a before and after picture then, but if he's going to do it in WordPress as opposed to Joomla, that's okay. All right. What I don't really want to have happen is I don't want to have somebody say, well, I did this site 3 years ago, I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I mean, you should be doing something with this. Hopefully you're getting something out of the class. All right. But the rest of the stuff that's in here, again, read it as you get time. All right. But this is kind of like a very informal checklist that I did. And I literally sat down and went through the whole book last night. All right. Again, assigned today, due 11/27/2014. All right. Questions on that? So if you haven't made that change, please make that change. I changed it and I copied it out there to, it's on the P drive, and in just a minute I'm going to also add it out onto Blackboard, and it'll be, the date will be right on there. Bless you. That's it.